What is going on, guys? It's Mainomai FM here and welcome back to the channel for yet another potential Wonderkids video ahead of the much anticipated release of FM21. Now, in the previous two videos we've already looked at some defensive potential Wonderkids and some potential Wonderkids that occupy the midfield roles as well. So in this one we're going to take a look at some potential Wonderkid forwards for you guys. Before we do get started though, I would like to apologise for the gap in time between the previous two videos that I've just mentioned and this one right here. The reason for that delay has been the small matter of my girlfriend and I buying our very first home together. So as I'm sure you can imagine and understand, things have been very, very exciting for the pair of us, but also very, very busy and very stressful as well. So there has been that to contend with. However, the good news is that we are now all moved in and settled, and I'm very much looking forward to bringing you guys the content that I have planned for you for FM 2021. Anyway, with that being said and with that out of the way, let's get stuck into what you guys are really here for, which is some potential Wonderkid forwards ready for your saves on FM21. So let's go, guys. Now, the very first player we're going to cover in today's video, guys, is going to be 15-year-old Yusufa Moukoko. Now, there's a very real possibility that you already know this young man, and at 15 he is already considered to be the brightest young talent outside of the first team at Dortmund, and has actually been included in their Champions League squad this season, and is likely to feature for them after his 16th birthday on the 20th of November. With that being said then, let's take a look at why this young man has caught the eye of the coaching staff at Dortmund. And to be honest, you don't have to delve too deep to find out the reasons behind it. So, but I mean, his goal scoring record speaks for itself, really. He's got 134 goals in his first 86 appearances for the club at various youth levels, which is absolutely unreal in terms of goal scoring form, albeit at youth level, which, you know, we have to take that into consideration. However, this young man has demonstrated the ability to score goals at every level he's been asked to so far, and if that's something that he can continue to do at senior level when called upon, he will achieve Wonderkid status in absolutely no time, I'm sure. It's also worth mentioning that he is on track to be the youngest Champions League player in history if he makes his debut in the upcoming fixtures that Dortmund have in the Champions League. So let's take a quick look at some of his strengths then, guys. Now, from watching countless highlight reels of his on YouTube and on other platforms as well, and doing my research into him, I can see that attacking movement is one of his real strong points. Across the entire final third, really. He picks the ball up in wide areas, or he's really dangerous through the middle. He can finish with both feet, which is always good to have in a striker. I think he is predominantly left-footed, but he can finish with his right as well, which has been demonstrated, you know, in the footage I've mentioned previously. His technique is fantastic as well. He really places the ball into the corners at times when called upon, and he shows, you know, that technique as well with nice fancy flicks and nice little intricate passes with his teammates as well. He's not a selfish player. Now, his dribbling and ball carrying from deep is very, very good. He's not the kind of striker just to stand on the shoulder of the last defender. He will drop deep and he will pick the ball up and drive at the heart of the defence and either carve an opportunity out for himself or distribute the ball to a teammate. That being said, his vision to be able to pick out a teammate is very good as well. I wouldn't say he's the best passer of the ball as such, but he definitely has the eye for the pass, and his decision making in the final third appears to be very good. When he is through on goal and when he finds himself in a goal scoring opportunity, he's very, very composed and tends to pick the right finish 9 times out of 10. And that being said, his off the ball anticipation is very, very good as well. Although he isn't the kind of player, like I just said, to just stand on the last man, when he needs to, he can do just that, and he anticipates the through ball and the weight of pass very, very well and knows what position to get himself into to receive that. So a very, very strong player all round. Now, in terms of FM21, it's 50-50 in my opinion in terms of whether or not he'll be on the game, as he doesn't actually turn 16 until the 20th of November, which is cutting it very fine in terms of the release of the game and whether or not he'll be able to be on it. If he is on the game though, and I really hope he is, I wish everyone good luck in terms of trying to get him out of Dortmund on anything other than a loan deal in your first season, because I think they're really going to want to keep hold of him. So in my opinion, I think the very best way to try and test this player out on FM21 would be to actually manage Dortmund yourself and add this young man to an already very tasty looking squad that includes the likes of Haaland, Sancho, Giovanni Reina, Jude Bellingham, etc. You know, I could sit here and name their whole team, to be honest. It's a very, very strong looking squad and a very young and talented, promising squad as well. So I'm actually seriously considering that save myself. It might be one I actually look to do on the beta before the full launch of the real game, just as a sort of short-term save to sort of find my feet on the new game. If that isn't your thing though, and you do prefer lower league management, then this is someone I'm sure you could bring in on loan to fire you to a promotion or two, maybe even, you know, on a very cheap loan deal where Dortmund are paying a lot of his wages as well. So definitely keep an eye out for this young lad. So if you have seen the previous two videos in this series, you will know that I'm including quite a few players that I've come across on several saves on FM20 over the last year or so. And Yolan Gomez, who's actually the brother of Claudio Gomez from Manchester City, he's another one of my favourites from my time managing Le Havre in France. Now, he'll be 18 at the start of FM21, and in my opinion, depending on who you're managing obviously, I think he'll be ready for first team football for most sides. So let's take a look at some of his strengths then. He's got a really strong left foot, and for me he was most effective coming in from the right hand side onto that strong left foot in a sort of inside forward position in my back attack tactic, which I will put a card to in this video. But also he was quite effective through the middle as a more conventional striker too, as he is I think around 6 foot, 6'1". He did tend to score quite a few headers for me, as the tactic that I deploy on the game does see us put a lot of crosses into the box, both sort of driven low crosses and whipped crosses for attackers to, you know, attack really with their head, so to speak. So in my opinion, Gomez has the potential to turn into a very, very well-rounded and dangerous striker due to his sort of broad array of strengths, to be honest. He's a very quick player, strong finisher, really good technique and first touch, dribbles with the ball really well, composed in front of goal, anticipates the through ball well and susses out where to place himself in and around the box. And obviously I've already touched upon his heading just now. Now in real life he's actually starting to break into the first team at Le Havre, having made a couple of appearances off the bench for them in league games. So if you do want Yolan Gomez in your side, you are going to have to move to secure him quite quickly in your first season if you would like to bring him in without paying too hefty a transfer fee for him. So last but certainly not least, the final player I wanted to talk to you about in this video is 17-year-old Yakin Saïd, who currently represents Lille at youth level in France. Now, this is a player that I signed a couple of seasons into my FM20 save with Le Havre that I mentioned previously, and I signed him for around 200,000 to 300,000 euros, which was well worth the money, I was then soon to find out. Now, he was most effective deployed as a striker through the middle, and although he wasn't familiar with playing out wide on last year's game, he did certainly have the attributes to do just that, which could add another dimension to his game on FM21 if you did successfully train him to adapt to the inside forward role. Having said that, let's take a look at some of his key strengths, shall we? So Saïd, in comparison to Yolan Gomez, is more of a dynamic player in terms of his a shorter player with a lower centre of gravity, so he's a bit more of a flair player. He's quite tricky as well, got a nice first touch, very agile, very pacey, and when you sort of couple that with his more conventional attributes that could be attributed to, you know, a number 9 for example, such as his finishing and his composure, you know, you really are getting a really well-rounded forward player here. A nice little added extra as well with this player is he's actually really good in the air for a short man. Usually, you know, players that are good in the air, you expect them to be 6 foot plus and strong lads, but Saeed seems to jump his height and seems to use that sort of anticipation off the ball really to get himself in positions to score headed goals, which is always nice. Now, this is a player that I don't think you'll have any trouble getting in on a loan deal in your first season on FM21, as he doesn't appear to be in the first team plans at Lille just yet. I think Saeed would be a really good loan signing actually for a lower league side across Europe, or a team at the bottom of the top flight in a top division in Europe, as a bit of a wild card signing really, to try and grab you maybe 5, 10, 15 goals to keep you afloat if you are one of those teams, or if you're one of the sort of lower league sides that I previously mentioned, he could fire you to an unexpected promotion, which is always nice. Alternatively, another route to get the best out of this player might be that if you're managing quite a big club across Europe and you have the time, money, facilities, etc. to be patient with a player and develop them slowly that way, then why not throw Lille a cheeky offer and see if you can take this young lad off their hands and develop him that way. So then guys, unfortunately in terms of this video, that is all we have time for now. However, I really do hope that you've enjoyed watching the video, as I've certainly had a lot of fun making it. Those of you who know me quite well know that tactics, Wonderkids and the commercial side of football, and more specifically Football Manager, are the sort of aspects of the game that I particularly enjoy. So yeah, if you did like today's video, please do go ahead and drop me a like down below, and also feel free to leave me some feedback in the comment section as well, whether it be good or bad. You know, I do read all the comments and try and respond to them, so if you want to let me know how I'm getting on, or you want to leave me some feedback to give me some guidance on how I might be able to improve these videos, then I'm certainly open to that too. Go ahead and hit me up in the comments if you have used or are planning to use any of the players featured in this video on the upcoming Football Manager 21 game. Finally, please consider subscribing for more Wonderkids tactics and Let's Play content on FM21 when it's released, if that is your thing, if those things appeal to you. But finally guys, thank you very much for taking the time out to watch this one. It really is appreciated, and I appreciate all the support that the channel is getting so far. But until next time guys, take care of yourselves, especially during the times we find ourselves in. Thanks very much again. Cheers.